Stage here at the Gfinity 100K. Courage joined by Mr. X. Matt, what an insane type of matches we've had so far at this event.
Right, I was just watching that last one between Envyus and TK, and Envyus actually wins that.
Yep.
So in our first two matches on the alpha stage, you see Envyus beat TK, and you see Epsilon, they win their match as well.
Both in game 5s.
Against Rise, both in game 5s. Kind of crazy. This one, I think we're probably going to see a more, kind of expected result. It's Envy going up against HyperGames.
Yeah, and so far, really what we've seen from Envy in the Pro League, been a little shaky, to be quite honest with you, dropping out of the top 8 at the moment with a losing record as well. Yeah. Really, Uplink has been their shining game mode so far. And then when you see the slaying power on a team like Envy, if you can have Looney and Aqua really push out with those subs, gain control of the hardpoint, get the entries, they'll be in a good spot.
It's a great roster, and they're able to push out, get those cuts, but who's going to stay in the hill?
Yeah.
That seems to be kind of the issue.
It's like miscommunications almost.
Right. It seems to be the issue for this team, like who is going to be in the hill and who's going to rack up that time. They seem to outslay almost every game I watch and play.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if they get that hill time or not.
Exactly. And also, we've seen JCap with some inconsistencies in hardpoint. Yep. When it comes to search and destroy, a team that you fully expect to get the first bloods and then be able to play their life.
Yeah.
So far, though, not really impressing too much online. This HyperGames team going into it, and they're in a unique situation where, once again, the U.S. squads don't know a ton about these European teams. Maybe they can get caught off guard in some of these games.
I think they should be able to win this series. As
absolutely. I'm with
more
you
than
on that
winnable
one.
series for Envy. We'll take a look at the maps that you're going to see during this series. It's going to be Detroit Hardpoint to kick things off, Riot S&D, Biolab Uplink, Solar Hardpoint, and then a Recovery S&D. It's the maps we're seeing all throughout the first wave of matches here.
Yeah, everything we've seen so far, nothing really too surprising. For map number 1, though, as we load into it, Matt, predictions here, Detroit Hardpoint, what's going to be the key to victory for either of these teams?
HyperGames going to have to come out with an insane performance.
Yeah.
They're going to have to play to the best of their ability, and you're still going to have to get some help from Envy if you're going to be able to win this one. I think Envy, you just want to come out and set a really good tone for the rest of the weekend, right? You want to come out, your first match, you want to start off strong. You really want to put on a dominant performance that can give you that confidence going into Saturday and then ultimately going into Sunday.
Well, game number 1 is starting up, Detroit Hardpoint. Matt, I'm going to hop on board with Octane right up the start, a player who really has just shown up from Season 2 to Season 3 now, regarded as one of the strongest BAL players in all of AW. Fully expect him to lock down the map for his team.
He puts up some of the best numbers game to game. He's a great pick in Vulcan, if you're playing on Vulcan, and then, in the league, he's kind of turned himself into one of the best BALs in Advanced Warfare, and we see off the start, it's going to be 2 fights in the kill feed, going in the way of HyperGames. Make it 3, and now Octane trying to come around the outside. He's going to be able to pick up 1, but HyperGames winning a few gunfights at the start, getting that confidence, getting that hill time. But I think you're going to start to see the tide turn in Envy's favor here.
You can see a really slow start from Octane, deciding to flank all the way around the side of the map. It winds up paying off, though, as he got school control for his team. Now Envy is in the hill. Looney trying to stay alive.
Looney's got 1 player challenging him from his right. He's going to win that gunfight. You see Cap and Aqua in the kill feed as well. And Envy, they have such 4 great players, very talented slayers. JCap, I think over the last year and a half, JCap's done a great job transforming as a player, right? Dominant slayer with the AR. Now he's, kind of can do everything. He still can slay with the AR when needed, but he fills that kind of support role. And I hate using the word support because it's like, well, what does that even mean? It's just somebody who doesn't get a ton of kills, like they're a support player. Like, no, JCap is more than capable of going off in the slaying department, but he's able to fill multiple roles, right? He can slay with the AR, he can slay with the SMG, he's an in-game leader, he's improved his search game tremendously. I think JCap, a very underrated player in Call of Duty as a whole.
Well, right now it is definitely showing, leading his team in score. A 10-second difference between these two teams at the moment. A beautiful flank came out of HyperGames at that back school area to gain control of the spawns in trailer. But the break coming out of Envy. Looney picks up the 2-piece as he pushes into closet. Envy regaining control.
Last 15 seconds on this hill, Jack. You just want to see Envy start to rotate here. You see they're spawning up over by school. They got to give it up. See Mello, he's going to be rotating over towards Garage. It's going to be some big gunfights for this HyperGames team to win. He's going to get one and back
big.
down. I love that play right there. He's going to back out, going to help his teammate Maxi, and Maxi doesn't need any help. He's going to be able to pick up that kill on Looney, so it's going to be HyperGames controlling this garage here first, Jack. And if they can get a ton of time here, they can start putting the pressure on Envy, right? Envy's going to have to start playing for some garbage time on hills. Maybe this game gets interesting.
Right there, that play where Mello stayed alive in the bottom garage stairs wound up keeping that side of the map contained for his team. No surprises coming from pit area. The player inside the hill was easily able to pick up the kills that were needed. It now reflects in the score as the lead has been cut down, but Envy has regained control. Cap was on a 6 streak.
Yeah, Cap on a 6 streak, 12-7 now. Just really doing everything for Envy, and this is kind of odd, right? Like, you expect Looney and Aqua to be the ones putting a ton of pressure, racking up lots of kills. And they're playing okay. I mean, they can play better. I mean, we've seen them play better. And Octane, 8-7, not kind of shocking the world here with his AR at the start. Cap really just making sure Envy keeps this lead here. And I think once you see the other guys start to eat up, which they will, I think you're going to see Envy pull away.
Tony trying to lead his squad. 4 HyperGames inside this yellow hill. The entry kill coming out of Veziok, but Octane answers right back from the back glass building, and there's JCap picking up another 2-piece. He's double positive, sitting at 16-8. He's leading the entire team and game in slaying all of Envy positive.
Yeah, and he's got players attacking him from the back. Another streak for JCap, like you said. This one currently a 3 streak. He's got 2 players challenging from behind. It's going to be a team kill for HyperGames. So you can start to see the pace of the game is becoming too fast for them, right? Their team kills.
Oh my gosh, they're just running
with 2
through
kills.
Points.
Looney with 2 kills. They're just kind of running at Envy right now, and this is getting ugly very fast, Jack. 119-49 here. Still with another hill to go in the first rotation. I mean, Envy can put up almost 160 points here. You probably think they end up with at the beginning of this game. I mean, it's going to be a very difficult lead for HyperGames to come back from. Looney just starting to crush right now, 16-11, a 2 streak, but you see right there heating up. I mean, right there, able to pick him up with that melee. And Looney's in an odd position, right? I mean, they make that team with Saints and Proof and Teep, and you kind of figured like they were giving Looney like a chance, right? Like it was Looney's like real first opportunity, like on like a main team. Like he was on TK, but you never kind of got that vibe that they were like a big player.
Yeah.
And I think now Looney, I mean, he's kind of like the face of Envy, right? Like he's like the brand name on Envy. They've kind of built this team around him, so I think all eyes are on him to play well in a game.
JCap is on something right
annihilating.
now. 22-10, another 5 streak, a 100-second lead, Matt. We're not even halfway through the 10 minutes of this game. It's been a dominant performance through and through. Envy outslaying their opponents by already about 20 kills.
And I so sometimes there's really no analysis you can do, right?
Yeah.
Like we talk about what happened in the first half. I mean, Envy's just
outperforming them. They're just outclassing them.
Every gunfight you see, Envy, the players are in a better position and usually winning it. And if not, it's being traded right away. So HyperGames needs to really start picking up some kills here. I mean, Maxi, 11-24, really need to see him step it up. Tony JS, 12-18, not much better. It's going to be a struggle for them in this series, to be quite honest with you, Jack. I mean, they're going to need a lot of help from Envy, and they're going to need to play pretty well to contend.
Every single player on Envy is positive. It's a full 90-second lead. They're outclassing them in every way, Matt. You hit the nail on the head. Sometimes you just can't even break down what's going wrong with the team because they're just
Well, I wouldn't say they're, like, outclassing them, right? I mean, these are all, like, top players in the world. I think, they're just running into a team that's just more prepared, plays against better competition, than this HyperGames team, like, all the time, right? I mean, they're going to get better practice. They're going to be better. Obviously, some of the best players
I would consider that
on Envy.
The definition of outclassing there, if you're just kind of winning on every front when you're both considered of a similar stature.
Right, but we see teams that, that are top caliber teams lose games like this as well. I mean, not like this bad, maybe like, by 100 points. We see top teams lose games like that all the time. I think it's just sometimes the other team's just that much better than you, and I think you're going to see throughout this series, Envy probably, is pretty comfortable. I'm very interested to see how this Envy team looks throughout this series, how they play on SND, and then if they can continue this throughout the weekend, right? Like, you want to see them pushing through the hills. You want to see who's going to actually play for the objective. And they're doing everything correct now. It's when they get in that big matchup, Jack, how are they going to play? Are they going to go back to playing, everyone just trying to pick up as many kills as they can, or are they going to play this style?
Exactly. Right now, everything going in the way of Envy. Still a 90-second lead. JCap in control of the Garage Hill. They're just trying to close out this game. Should definitely hit that 250-second mark. You can see beautiful coverage from Aqua at that back statue area. Unfortunately, though, he gets cut down, but it doesn't matter as JCap is killing everything in sight, making it look easy. He finds a third kill. He just can't be stopped.
I tell you, if JCap plays like this the rest of the weekend,
they're in a good spot.
Yeah, this Envy team's going to do pretty nice things. I mean, 30 and 19, 8 caps. I mean, just putting up major numbers. And this game's pretty much over, Jack.
Yeah, this is game number 1.
You don't want to write a game over too early, but this one's kind of over.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's mathematically possible for them to come back at the moment. Maxi doing all he can for his team. Unfortunately, though, 17 and 33 is just not going to cut it when you face the boys in blue. One of the strongest teams, obviously, in the world. Octane picking up another 2-piece, 242 to 97. Unfortunately for Envy, they're not going to be able to close it out on that back Garage Hill. So Aqua's going to rotate towards yellow, and the game should be ending here momentarily. Envy showing up very strong in their first game of the Gfinity Summer Championships.
30-plus kills from 3 players. I mean, Aqua 25 and 27. Wouldn't say he struggled. I mean, just kind of playing for that hill a lot of the time, just trying to push out those cuts. But Envy should be able to put this one away. They just need to contest the hill and then just 1 or 2 kills. And you see Looney, he's going to flood in. Aqua's going to run in, trade that one as well. Aqua's going to pick up 2. JCap's going to kill Aqua just for fun. And it's going to be Envy winning that one 250 to 110, Jack. Envy, the boys in blue, looking on fire.
Yeah, really what you kind of expected there in game number 1. Your final kill cam coming from JCap. More than deserving of it. 9 captures, 31 and 22. On the other side of things, Maxi just not able to keep up in the slaying department. 19 and 36 with 3 captures and 3 defends. And Matt, this is something we've seen from a lot of teams who really struggle against the top slaying teams in AW, where you just have one player who really just doesn't match that same intensity of the rest of the players in the lobby, and it really begins to show in regards to staying alive inside the hill.
Right. I mean, you need all your players to play well against the best competition. I mean, we saw that in the Rise series that me and Maven casted. We just saw it in the TK and Fuse series that you just casted. Now, for HyperGames to contend in this series, just to contend and have a reasonable chance,
they need everyone.
You can't have somebody 1936. It's really only the bad stat line. I mean, you look at their stats. I mean, Viziok 27-33. It's not bad. 10 captures. Mello 30 and 30. Goes even. 7 captures of the hill. Tony JS 25 and 28. Not an awful score. You really just needed, that one player to play a little bit more consistent. You got out-rotated a bunch. There was a lot of times where you were trying to play for garbage time. And that's stuff you can go back and work on. But I think the real story of this match will be, how does Envy look coming out of this?
Yep. And
then HyperGames, how do they play? How they're going to learn stuff from this match.
Absolutely.
And they can still have a chance to make it out of groups.
Yeah, but they're going to have to go through Optic Gaming later on in the tournament as well. Once again, this is a Pool A matchup. That was game number 1. Really just a dominant performance from Envy. 250 to 110. Now, map number 2.
Yes.
Riot Search and Destroy. What is HyperGames going to have to do to really catch Envy off guard? What are the weaknesses?
Some creative strategies. Just come out with some creative strategies, right? I mean, throw the sniper rifle play in there.
Yeah.
Throw some B action in there. Maybe push up mid-jail. Try and flank a little bit on defense. You're not going to beat them just playing straight up.
Exactly.
You're not going to. So you have to get creative. I don't want to say win rounds in a cheap way, but make it easy on but make it easy on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the Epsilon versus Rise match that I casted, it was the guys on Epsilon, playing the same way. They get this lead, and then Apthy's playing in the back of A on recovery, and they just pull out a sniper rifle, and Apthy's just standing in the middle of open because he's not used to it. I mean, they haven't used one all game.
Yeah.
It's an easy pick, an easy take of the bomb site. So I think you're going to need to see some creative stuff come out of HyperGames.
Well, we're hopping into game number 2, Riot Search and Destroy. Envy taking game 1 with ease. I'll be honest with you, Matt. If Envy take this one, this is a 3-0. Envy looking so strong and uplink.
Oh, they're one of the best uplink teams in the world.
They're shot caller through and through.
Yeah.
For that game mode. He has been so dominant so far for that team in regards to their communication. As we hop into game number 2, Envy going to be on defense to start things off. Matt, who do you want to hop on board with, though, from HyperGames?
Let's go on with Viziok. go on him. See what he's going to do here off the break. Offensive side of things, you're going to probably see mostly A pushes, and it looks like he is going to be heading over towards B, probably going to just see if they can get somebody flanking off the bat. But Envy putting all the pressure on the A bomb site. It's going to be JCap getting first blood there on Maxi. It's going to put a lot of shots in Tony up top and see what HyperGames decides to do. They may have to just flood this B site right away. As Envy, they're going to know exactly what HyperGames trying to do, right? They push all the way down the A street and don't see anybody, and the stun comes in. Octane picks up 2 kills, all up to Mello. This one going to go in Envy's favor to start.
4-0 sweep there from Envy in round number 1, doing a fantastic job of trading their kills. You knew that if Octane dies here, they easily have the trade coming out of Looney. There's your final kill cam. Octane with 3 kills to his name already. Flawless round number 1 from the boys in blue.
How good do you think Octane is? In your opinion, how good is he?
I think right now on this Envy squad, he fills a great role for this team in regards to more of a slower AR. We've seen him begin to adapt a little bit more to the team's play style. He's a little bit more faster paced than the likes of Swanee. But for this team right now, consistent in search and destroy, consistent in the respawn game modes, and when he's picking up kills like that on top 3, you got to be happy with his play.
He's a smart S&D player as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think the one thing this team, I don't think they lack. The one thing, I mean, I guess they do, is like somebody who's a little bit more OBJ-minded, right? You have so many people who want to kill. Cap is pretty selfless. Like, he'll go for the OBJ. I think you're just missing that one player who's not really dedicated to it, but just they always have that in their mind. And you're going to see Mello put down some shots on the A-bomb site. Wasn't able to finish off JCap, and it's going to be Tony Giesta working around the back. Going to try and pick up a kill on the flank. Aqua's going to win that one. It's going to put Mello here left in a 1v3. Going to put a lot of shots down from 3-story. Not able to do it. The trade comes in. Envy up 2-0.
You can see Octane begins to get weak. A headshot lands on him. He just lays down. He just makes it so he can't die. I know my teammate's going to hop up. There's JCap jumping in. Octane, JCap, and Aqua combined for an 8-0 start at the moment. Up 2-0 now against HyperGames.
We'll see. HyperGames needs to win this offensive round.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Envy goes up 3-0, winning 2 defensive sides. They go back on offense. You figure it's a 4-0. That does not look good in HyperGames' favor.
B-push coming out of HyperGames, and now looking like they're going to rotate here towards mid-prison. 3 players of Envy already on the full
It's so
flank.
predictable, though.
Yeah, they already heard too. They already heard security. They know something's up.
Right, like, the hardest thing is doing a strat on offense and losing, and then trying to figure out what you do the next round. Because it's like, okay, we go B, we lose. Next round, you go B, that's predictable.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just switch to the other bomb site right away. You need to do something else before you just keep hopping back and forth, because then you become a predictable team, right? Envy stacks everybody at A the first time. Second round on defense right now, they've stacked everybody at B. They knew HyperGames was just going to say, hey, A didn't work, let's go to B. Okay,
let's try it out.
Yeah.
Tony able to answer back on Aqua after Aqua struck first blood. Looney and Octane, though, answer back as well. Picking up 2 kills there. Veziak in the 1-on-3. There was a 1-on-4 in round 1, a 1-on-3 in round 2, another 1-on-3. HyperGames putting themselves in tough positions to win rounds. Envy looking primed to go up 2-0 in the series.
They brought the bomb to the Envy
base. And then they just died.
I mean, Veziak had the A-bomb stay wide open.
Yeah, they could have gotten
the bomb. Yeah, so it's going to be Envy going on offense. See what they decide to do here. Maybe a B push out of them just to kind of mix things up.
Yeah. I'm staying on board with Octane, though. Rocking Tactician got that overclock as well as Exo Mute. Matt, you called it right. The B push coming out of Envy. Now they're playing the same route where they rotate here through mid-prison, try to get control of the enemy team's base, and then get the bomb planted. Looney striking first blood. Octane's going to flank all the way through the back of the map. He's going to have one player challenging, picks up the beatdown on Mello, picks up the kill as well. Another 4-0 sweep. Envy just charging right through HyperGames, making it really, honestly, Matt, look easy.
It's a pretty sick final play right here from Octane. He gets that first melee kill, then able to finish off Maxi. 8-0 for Octane here, map number 2, and this does not look good for HyperGames, Jack. I mean,
they're combined 2-16.
It looks like they're going to be down 5-0. Really, you feel sorry for them. They're trying everything they can. They're trying to do A, they're trying to do B, they're trying to flank on defense. They just cannot figure it out right now.
Envy deciding to give up A Street for round number 5. The bomb should be planted momentarily, or they might decide to push on through. We'll see what the play call is. Looks like they're going to flood right through into the back basketball side. The spawns have completely flipped 4-on-4 with just over a minute remaining.
Yeah, and Envy just going to kind of sit mid-map, wait, decide what to do here. It looks like they're going to have some eyes on both bomb sites, so they're going to know exactly where this HyperGames squad is going to go with it once. They just kind of gain information right now, and they don't know if they know where Tony is up top. And it's going to be Looney challenging one player down low, then backing out. But you see how aggressive he is. He knows he's going to win that gunfight. They have no fear of challenging the players on HyperGames.
Looney getting out alive, 4-on-2 yet again. Envy with the numbers yet again. Looney now checking top 3, not spotting anyone as of yet. There is one player, though, up there with the bomb. Tony now dropping down, has one player right in front of him, gets the beat down on Octane, shuts down his 9-kill streak, shoots at nothing there. It must have been a reflection on the ground. Tony trying to stay alive. 16 seconds remaining. Matt, this is looking like
they're running out of time, though. I mean, he's just running around to stay alive.
Yeah.
He has the bomb back there. There's nothing they can do with it now. Maxie's in a world of trouble. 8 seconds left. Wasn't going to be able to do anything. Envy going to win this one, making it 5-0.
5-0, continuing to just run through this HyperGames team. Matt, a very one-sided series so far. You're looking at me with a very odd face. What do you want to say?
Oh, no. It's just a dominating performance as far by Envy.
I knew Envy was going to come out on top of the series, but did you think it would be this much of a slaughter at the moment? 3-20 is the stat line right now. I'm not trying to be biased in any way.
You are.
No, I mean, well, no. I love the boys in blue, but come on. This is like there's really very few positives to take from the series for HyperGames.
I mean, HyperGames trying to throw like everything at them right now. They're going to stack B. They're going to try and win these gunfights straight up. But it's kind of, I mean, they really didn't do what we were talking about pregame, like try and do some different things, try and change it up a little bit, pretty much running
they might get around.
Standard play, and here it is. It's going to be a 1v1.
Nope.
It's not going to go in HyperGames' favor, unfortunately, and it's going to be a 6-0 in favor of Team Envyus.
That was their best shot at taking a round. Tony did all he could, but JCap came soaring in. Octane, 11-2. JCap didn't die all game. Mello dropping the donut. They also had a couple breadsticks on the HyperGames squad. Tough game, to say the least. Game number 1, complete outslaying by Envy. Just really outperforming him, winning 250-110. Game 2, 6-0. And now we move into Uplink.
It's Biolab. It's going to be a really fast-paced map. It's not the draw you wanted if you were HyperGames.
Looney and Aqua are both on their game right now. Octane shots looking real good, and JCap playing consistently so far in this series. Yeah. Really a perfect storm for Envy to take the series 3-0.
Oh, I mean, this does look like it has the makings to be a 3-0 in favor of Envy. I mean, we can take a look at the stats. Octane 11-2, JCap 4-0, Looney 5-2, Aqua 4-2. I mean, everybody over 2 KD, just crazy numbers out of Envy. And then on the side for HyperGames, Tony JS 4-6, 1-6 from Maxi, 1-6 from Veziak, 0-6 from Mello. Just some tough scores to swallow there.
Now, Matt, I gotta ask, we're gonna be seeing Envy versus Optic Gaming coming up tomorrow at some point. If Envy continues to play like this, you think they could take the series off the green wall?
They can make it interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can beat Optic. I think they make it interesting, though.
All right, well, Envy continuing to perform quite well. That was game number 2, Riot Search and Destroy. If I'm on HyperGames, I'm just trying to clear my mind. I'm using that Men in Black.
Sometimes flash you just throw your hands up. It's like, well,
that just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what we kind of do from here. Game number 2 is Slaughter. Game number 3, Biolab Uplink coming up next. Things to look for on this map. Really just Octane locking down the drone area. You'll see Looney and Aqua grab it and just kind of throw it in. I wouldn't be surprised if Envy continues going.
You don't know how experienced this HyperGames team is.
Probably know they're the biggest ballers.
Probably not.
Uplink. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They could come out
and you're going up against a team like Envy, who's one of the best in North America in the Pro League.
They have the best Uplink record in the Pro League.
It's a tough go for HyperGames. I mean, it's just a really bad matchup. They
were 8-0 in Uplink prior to last week starting up. We're going to be starting up game number 3 here, Biolab Uplink. Matt, I'm rooting for HyperGames. I want to see them try to drag out this series just a little bit. There's a look at how the series is broken down so far. Game 1, Hardpoint Detroit going to Envy. Game 2, going to Envy just as easily. Even if they extend it to Solar, that's a map that I feel like Envy would just completely soar through as well, Matt.
Yeah, I think HyperGames, though, they have a big mountain to climb if they're going to force that game 4 jack. And map loading up, it's going to be Biolab Uplink like we were talking about. See what side Envy starts on in this one. Don't know if it even really matters too much. I think they probably take it to HyperGames. If you're HyperGames, it's tough because, I mean, you lose this when you go into the bottom side of your group. You'll play, whoever loses the Optic Gaming match, and then you would play whoever loses Envy versus Optic Gaming again. So you could potentially match up with Envy again, or you could potentially match up with Optic. So it's going to be pretty hard for HyperGames to make it out.
Well, off the start, we're on board with Octane. Envy's superstar BAL player made a big name for himself so far in Advanced Warfare. First blood coming from Aqua, the drone in the hands of Octane.
Yeah, and you see he's got 2 players in mid-bio. He's going to just bring it down towards Snow. He's going to see if he can just dodge this player out top. Octane going to get off a 1-point throw. He's not going to knock it down. It's actually going to bounce off the map. So pretty big error right there at the start. Envy almost able to get a point on the board within the first 30 seconds. JCap setting up for drone control. It's really what Uplink is all about. Getting control of that drone, keeping it in the possession of your team, and then really moving it up the map as a squad.
Really, for me, Matt, something to look for. HyperGames needs to start off very strong on side 1. They're on the preferred side. Right now, though, the drone has only been in the hands of Envy. They're already in a position where they can score the 1-point play from window. They're going to go for that. The missed beatdown, though, as JCap picks up Maxi. Octane just trying to stay alive. Everything's closing in on him. He's going to go for the 1-point play. The toss, able to connect. 1-0 lead for the boys in blue.
It's kind of unbelievable that that throw was so much harder than the original one that he missed, and he was able to hit that one pretty easily.
Hey, he's making plays out here. Made sure not to miss 2 in a row. Veziak kills Mello with the explosive canisters. The drone area now controlled by HyperGames, but as you see on your minimap, Octane in a position to just cut down any player who begins to push.
Oh yeah, they're not going to have an answer for him on this map. They're going to have to win in a creative way, whether it's going through the OE and picking up points that way. Octane's going to get taken out by Maxi as he goes to that 1-point throw. So HyperGames now has the opportunity to wrap the drone, and they see that they have 2 players pushed out over by Green Plat. Those are going to be the guys that have to pick up kills, and Max is going to bring this in. He's going to get a throw off, and it's going to go in. It bounces in barely, Jack. So HyperGames gets on the board, tying this one up.
I thought, like, here we go. HyperGames finally gets an opportunity to score. Then Maxi just tossed it off the map, but no. Got the bounce in. 1-1, we're all tied up. They're doing their best to keep it close. The slaying is much more even in this game over the hard point, but 4 do fall. Octane picking up the 2-piece on HyperGames.
And he has a drone in his hands a lot.
Yeah, that's all he's been doing. He wants.
Love to see him just give it to Aqua, give it to JCap, let Octane really do what he's best at, which is slaying with the AR. He's got a teammate coming through ice, trying to pick up some kills. That's going to be Looney. Octane's going to pick up 1. Looney's going to get taken out. Same with JCap, so it's going to be the only one with the drone over in elbow. Going to have some support from Aqua, but let's see what Looney decides to, Octane decides to do, and he's going to wrap this one, and you see Aqua picking up 3 kills. Looks like JCap should be able to pick up this other one. It's actually going to go to Aqua, as Aqua is just on fire right now, Jack, on a 5 streak. Really just dominating with the ASM-1 over an elbow.
3-1 lead now for Envy. Aqua finally gets cut down off his 5 streak. JCap, the lead blocker for Looney. He actually winds up taking him out. The flank, though, coming through from Veziak through ice. Picks up 1 kill on Aqua, now trying to trace down the drone.
Yeah, Veziak trying to get control of the drone spawn. Maxi with the drone in hand, though. He's going to go for this 1-point play. It's going to be set up perfectly.
All right.
Going to knock it down. So HyperGames will not go away here, Jack. Still trying to contend in this matchup. Only down 1 here. It's the first side of this uplink. Minute 30 to go. A little bit more than that, but by the time I finish this, minute 30 to go. Down by 1 here, playing from the advantageous side. They have to be careful. They need a little bit of a lead. I think Envy going into that preferred side is really going to start to put up some numbers.
Tony doing all he can to lock down the map for his team. He's sitting at 12-8 at the moment. Playing more of the role you'd expect from Octane, where not really worrying about the drone, letting his teammates handle that one, and it's paying off right now for HyperGames as they have a perfect opportunity to go for the 2-point play. Maxi now beginning to run it in. Looney picks up 1 kill. It's not enough, though. The dunk coming in. HyperGames in the lead.
They're able to pick up that 2 points, but look at this, Jack. Aqua makes it all the way through elbow. Another player setting up for the drone for Envy. Players going into mid-bio. They have an opportunity to get a big score here.
Aqua staying in bottom yellow. Not able to pick up the kill in mid-bio. The drone still in the hands of JCap. He falls to the hands of Maxi. Looney now staying alive. The pass coming in. Mello getting his team in another great position to score at least a 1-point play. The toss coming in. That's going to connect. 5-3 lead. HyperGames doing all they can to give fight to the boys in blue.
Yeah, Envy, they're getting it taken to them right now. HyperGames coming out hot here in this uplink, and don't think anyone saw it coming. Envy, one of the better uplink teams in the game, in the Pro League. HyperGames did not look good maps, 1 or 2. Didn't know what you were going to get with them. It's going to be Looney with the drone getting into the Cielo building. He's going to have a chance to go for one. He's going to actually try and force the two.
Oh,
he's going to get taken out. 5 seconds left. He has 2 teammates right by it. Can Aqua get to the drone? He's not going to be able to. JCap taken out from behind. And HyperGames with a huge defensive stand right there.
Beautiful decision-making there from HyperGames, deciding to just not worry about getting kills at the moment, just toss out every stun we have. Aqua was chain stunned for like 6 or 7 seconds straight. That stopped him from getting the ability to even toss the drone in for a 1-point play. At the half, HyperGames in the lead 5-3, but now Envy goes over to the preferred side.
And do you think that's going to have a large effect on this game, Jack?
I really do, because this is where I feel like they're going to get much easier control of blue, and they'll be able to chain together scores. And Aqua and Looney just love pushing out green. It fits their play style. Expect to see them heat up on side 2.
Yeah, and you see Envy's going to have one player go all the way on the long flank. So Octane's just going to hold down over in elbow, and it's going to be JCap, the one on that long flank. They have to know Octane's over there by purple. They're actually going to be able to take him out. So you're going to see Aqua win that last gunfight in the purple room.
Nice.
You see double nades out of Viziok. Something different. Don't see that too often. And Envy just doing a great job slaying. Nobody picking up the drone. Looney trying to come behind the enemy. He's going to get 2. That could potentially bust this game open.
Really back and forth. Mello gets the kill on JCap. Octane has to rotate back. Octane gets the kill. He falls to Tony. Teams trading left and right. HyperGames, though, still with a 1-possession lead. And now they have the drone in hand. Or should have the drone in hand.
They're contemplating just leaving it there and just slaying around it for a little bit.
Right.
Looney's picked up on the OE by Viziok. So it's going to be Viziok picking up the drone for HyperGames. Let's see how they decide to play this.
Octane just trying to stay alive. Looney with a big beatdown in mid-bio. Challenges the player top purple. Octane getting shot. Wins the gunfight, though, up against Tony. The trade coming in from JCap. Envy with the drone in hand.
Yeah, JCap's going to bring the drone over towards blue. Going to toss it back. He's going to lead the charge. He's actually going to get taken out by Maxi. You see Looney, though. He's going to bring this back over towards ice. Sees the barrels are there. Decides to go for a 1-point throw. He's going to miss it. And that, I feel like, is that's 2 misses out of Envy, right? We saw the one from Octane at the beginning and then one right there.
Yep.
Potentially what would have been a tie game.
The drone being tossed up. That dynamic map element has yet to come down. Aqua picking up.
They're going to rotate
kill.
this through green.
They're
going to
bring this one right through green. You can see on your minimap all the red arrows spawning up in blue. They get the entry kill they need. Looney now beginning to chuck out stuns. But Viziok again with the nades, shutting down the push from Envy.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be Maxi picking up the drone with Mello trailing, and looks like he's going to actually pick it up. Can he get the 2-point play? No, he's going to get taken out at the final second. It's going to be Looney picking it up, jumping off the map with it. Fantastic defensive stand right there from Envy, but this game should not be as close as it is, Jack.
So back and forth. Envy in their strongest game mode, just not able to chain together some scores. They still have 2.5 minutes remaining to make the comeback happen, but you can see slaying almost identical. Neither team really able to get it going.
Yeah, and it looked like they tried to throw the drone out and it never actually made it, so Looney's actually going to get pretty fortunate. He's going to be able to pick up the drone. Let's see if they try and force this one for 2. It looks like...
Oh, he hit the wall.
Yeah, he hit the wall, and then he's going to knock it down, but I thought for a second he was going to try and force that 2-point score.
Look at this flank from JCap. He could get a huge advantage on the opposing teams, but no. He gets cut down. Aqua and Octane answer right back with 2 minutes remaining. 1 point separating these two teams. HyperGames doing all they can to stay alive in the series.
This game's too close for HyperGames, right? Envy's going to kick it into another gear. Can HyperGames match it and hold on here in the last minute and 45 seconds?
Looney now beginning to run this drone. He's got the help from his lead blockers. He goes in for the dunk, makes it happen. 3 straight points for Envy as they take the lead.
It's going to be Octane with that drone on top of blue. 23 and 16 from Octane, doing a nice job just locking down these lanes with the AR. He's going to slide. He's going to go for the 1-point throw and hit it. Smart play right there, making it a 2-point game. Aqua on the OE. He's going to get 1. It's another player directly to his left. So not going to win that gunfight, but just going to put enough pressure on HyperGames that they can't push out all effectively at this drone.
1 minute, 16 seconds were remaining. Octane just trying to stay alive, bottom snow. The drone in the hands of Tony. Spots one player mid-map. He decides to just
They're going to wrap this too.
him. Envy now going to wrap. They're setting themselves up for a perfect 3-0 start to the Gfinity Summer Championships. That's going to fall short. No, it gets in.
Knocked it in. So Octane
Nice
makes this
shot.
a 2-possession game, which is enormous. I mean, you could have saw HyperGames scoring one more time here in the last 45 seconds. If they're going to get 2, they're going to have to go huge, and it's going to happen now.
Matt, Envy did exactly what we predicted. They heated up on side number 2 when it mattered most. The drone back in the hands of Maxi. He's trying to run it through purple. He's got no help from his team. 4 dead. Envy trying to add insult to injury. They're running the drone right through middle ice. The 1-point play falls just below, not able to go in. This one, Matt, should be all over. They have a chance to duck.
Vezyok's going to have the drone. Let's see if he can put this one in.
But look at the map. No one in a position to try to get
look
this
at
drone.
that. Now everybody is going to be over on the drone reset, trying to get it to either throw it or just kind of hold on to it. And looks like there's not enough time to score here,
That's
Jack.
it.
It's going to be Envy taking the series versus HyperGames 3-0.
I mean, I'll give him props. HyperGames hung with them there in that Biolab uplink. Was much closer than you and I were predicting, but really when it came down to it, Envy clutched up when it mattered. Here's your final kill cam from Looney on a 5 streak to end that game, finishing 25 and 24.
Just a strong performance by everybody on Envy. You know,
Yep.
Octane really led the way in that one, 28 and 19. But JCap, just a overall fantastic series. Note goes -1 in that uplink, but had a great S&D and then a great hardpoint.
When you have Octane staying consistent like that time and time again, he's the biggest reason why they're so dominant in uplink there in Pro League Season 3. 5 uplinks to his name. There's a look at your stats, the 1.47 KD. He just led the boys in blue to their first pool play victory here in Group A. Now, Envy still going to have to go up against Optic Gaming tomorrow.
Yep.
Matches to look forward to. If they play this well, they can easily put up a fight. Matt, HyperGames from here, what do you want to see them improve on if they want to try to stay in this tournament?
No, they just got to get more consistent. It's really it. I mean, they're going to have to kill people in hardpoint. You're going to have to win a lot of those gun engagements. Sometimes they just didn't really feel like they were really in those games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they never really had a chance in that first one. The second game wasn't that close. They needed to mix up some different strats. Didn't do that. And then that third game, they had that. They just kind of made some small mistakes that ended up giving it away.
Well, that was our third match of the night. There's still one more to go on the Challenger stage. Here's a look at our schedule. On the main stage, Optic Gaming versus VWS is going on right now. Vitality and TCM will close out the night over there. On the Challenger stage, though, still to come, Optic Nation versus Spirit Gaming. Definitely a great matchup. Fully expect Mochilla to go off in that one for Optic Nation.
Yeah, I think Optic Nation wins that one.
Yeah, I think,
Be honest with you, I think Optic Nation probably takes that series. I think it'll be a good one, though. It's interesting how they play. They're another team that's kind of up and down. Going to be looking to see how Mochilla plays and Embos. So speaking, Embos always plays pretty well at these larger events.
Well, that was our matchup between the two teams of Envy and HyperGames. Envy taking that one 3-0. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Optic Nation versus Spirit Gaming.